All right, let's go. It feels like right now we are at a very important intersection of life. Some people will step up and meet the challenges, while others will settle for more easily achievable goals. So you better hold on to your balls for this one, because this video is going to expose some inconvenient truths.
A lot of people think that a blind person can't play football.
What the fuck is going on?
We had an exciting week 1 of the NFL season. It was definitely good to see that Browns fans are already in mid-season form. As is normally the case, we learned a lot from the first week in the NFL. We learned that maybe Tua isn't a good quarterback. We learned that Kyler Murray shows up for games looking like your 7-year-old trans nephew. We learned that I'm strong enough to overcome a couple of bad bets. And most of all, we learned that Stacey Abrams actually plays for the Philadelphia Eagles. And even she knows,
you gotta give him that hawk too and spit on that thing.
So as always, we got lots to talk about in this video. From the new holiday Pixar movie that looks just perfect for the kids, to the fact that you know exactly who this is just by the mouth. And from what it feels like to finally get engaged, to feeling more powerful than the time you reported your neighbor for having more than 5 guests over for Thanksgiving dinner.
Billy, Karen, tell us what was going on with that home run ball.
Yeah. Our family already lost 2 balls. My son is now my daughter. I was not about to let another one go.
So it definitely feels like a lot has happened since my last video, and I know you come here for real answers to the tough questions. Like, have you all seen the newest player that just signed with Man Titty United? Are the JB Pritzker Chris Christie 2028 campaign signs referencing a year or a combined weight? Which side do you think the new edition will look best on? Is it okay to tell your grandkids that this is Lady Gaga? What is the best way to reboot a liberal? How low should one go when doing squats at the gym? Is anyone living better right now than Steve Bannon and his Asian hooker? Can we finally close the discussion on who's the world's best gamer? And maybe most importantly of all, did Bill Gates choose the name Microsoft as an homage to his wiener?
Well, I just wanted to apologize for every single fucking version of Windows that sucked, which is basically all of them. Also, sorry for creating viruses just so I could profit from selling you the antivirus software. And on that note, sorry for spreading real viruses by profiting from vaccines and shit. Also, sorry for sterilizing so many of you. There's just too many of us, and some of you are not nice. That's why I'm trying to block out the sun. Anyway, I just came here to ask for a pardon from all the Epstein shit. Thank you.
It is pretty ironic that the same people that would call the police on you for not wearing a mask are now saying we live in a police state.
President Trump doesn't seem to understand is that crime is something normal in Chicago. It's a tradition. We're all criminals here. I'm a criminal. This Wakanda guy is a criminal. This bitch with the white hair, she's black and she lives in Chicago, so she's probably a criminal. Just let us live peacefully in our crime-ridden shithole, okay? We don't want you here. Thank you.
All right, let's talk some crypto news, and we'll start right here. As Trump says, the crypto market is about to go parabolic.
All of a sudden, you've got all these cracks in the dam that are breaking. The people who get in now are the people who are getting in early. I believe that with all of my soul. And this is a global asset. This is an asset that everybody wants. This is an asset. It's probably the only asset in the world that has limited supply. There's 21 million. There will never be another one, unlike gold, unlike other commodities. And I'm just watching it from afar as for the first time, the capital markets really have access to it or getting access to it. And so I think cryptocurrency is in its infancy, and I think the trajectory of Bitcoin and of digital assets is going to be parabolic. And I really think we're going to have one of the greatest companies in the ecosystem, and that was launched obviously minutes ago.
And we also saw that Maxwell Stein, the director of digital assets at BlackRock, is confirmed to attend Ripple's Swell event this fall. From Ripple partner Ondo Finance,
we would hope that truly a global audience figures out that tokenized stocks and ETFs are a seamless way to get access to US capital markets. We do expect the initial wave of adoption really to happen with the same audience that is using stablecoins right now. It is very easy to understand that if a stablecoin gave you access to the US dollar, you can now use that stablecoin and get access to US capital markets through a wide variety of these ways that I just described. So we do expect the initial adoption cohort essentially to be the stablecoin users. Over time, we quite frankly expect a lot of the, almost call it the Web2 brokerage businesses, the Web2 fintechs globally to migrate to these on-chain rails, because quite frankly, a tokenized stock, ultimately, we believe will be a better version than the traditional stock in a clearing broker account.
The Federal Reserve has announced they will host a conference on payments innovation on Tuesday, October 21st.
I heard some poors on the streets complaining about $8 egg prices. Like I was saying to my good buddy Kashkari that day, what could an egg normally cost man? $10. Just seems like a lot of unnecessary complaining.
And I don't know about you guys, but I always find it hard to decide how much crypto to keep on an exchange versus how much to store securely in my own wallet. Every time I see another hack or an exchange blow up, I always get that feeling like that could be me next time. That's why I started using iTrust Capital's premium custody account. iTrust gives you industrial level security with Coinbase Prime, Fidelity, and Fireblocks. Plus, you can also trade your coins at any time. And if you're new, iTrust is giving you a $100 funding bonus when you use my code below. iTrust uses something called a closed loop system. This means I can buy, sell, and hold over 80 different assets, but the crypto itself can't just get sent out to random wallets. It can only be withdrawn directly to my secure and verified bank account. That takes a lot of the risk of how you store your funds off the table. You don't have to worry about late night wallet drains or malicious phishing attacks. The other great thing about iTrust is that they have an excellent customer support team. You can call them up and a real person in the US will pick up the phone and help you with whatever you need. So I am partnered with iTrust. That's why they're offering the $100 funding bonus, but I actually use them as well, because to me, protecting your crypto should be the first move you make, not the last. All right, let's take a look at some of the other top headlines, and we'll start right here with RFK Jr. dishing out a massive blow to chief running scam herself, Pharmahontas.
That was your promise.
I know
Mr.
I didn't.
Kennedy,
I never
mine.
promised that I was going to recommend products with which there is no indication.
When you said...
And I know you've taken $855,000 from pharmaceutical companies, Senator.
I don't know. She seems kind of like a Phillies fan.
I want to know, you think Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is the best man to be leading public health?
And President Trump is now sending federal agents into Chicago under Operation Midway Blitz. This ICE operation will target the criminal illegal aliens who flocked to Chicago and Illinois because they knew Governor Pritzker and his sanctuary policies would protect them and allow them to roam free on American streets. Cue the faux outrage.
All of us who voted for Kamala Harris look smarter and smarter every single day.
In a terribly sad story that the MSM doesn't want to talk about for some reason, 23-year-old Ukrainian refugee Irina Zarutska was stabbed to death by a complete stranger while riding the train in Charlotte, North Carolina. It was later found out that the killer had over a dozen prior incidents on his record. Most news outlets are barely covering the story, but there are rumors that Netflix is already working on the documentary. The Sunday night game in the NFL brought us some unexpected drama. Baltimore came out hot in the first half. Derrick Henry could not be stopped. But Josh Allen and the Bills rallied back to steal the season opener. Here was Baltimore quarterback Lamar Jackson after the last-second defeat.
This has been the worst team, the worst experience I ever did. Players, this is not on you. So listen. This is not on you. Players, y'all did everything. Y'all gave your heart. Y'all did everything right. It was the coaches.
In JD Vance news, the VP gets into a posting war with far-left lunatic Brian Krasenson. Replying to his accusation that he is a war criminal, Vance says, "I don't give a shit what you call it. Better get ready, Brian. Seems like it's only a matter of time." No, this is not a joke. The city of Austin, Texas is proudly announcing a $1.1 million rebrand.
We will go from this to this.
And I can't say for sure, but I feel like Austin got this idea from The Rock. We have old Austin over here, and we have new Austin right here.
I can tell you that we are pouring through millions of bits of data on Anthony Fauci. There will be a subpoena in short fashion, and there also will be news in the next week or two about things that we have found from poring over the records. There's going to be significant revelation about Anthony Fauci in the next week.
That's the other thing. I assume we're looking at the whole AutoPen scam. Sir. Because the person that ran it said he spoke to it briefly twice about nothing. That means that all those pardons that he gave to some very bad people, very unpatriotic people, very evil people, it looks to me like those pardons are worthless.
The United States has long, for many, many years, established intelligence that allow us to interdict and stop drug boats. And we did that. And it doesn't work. Interdiction doesn't work because these drug cartels, what they do is they know they're going to lose, 2% of their cargo. They bake it into their economics. What will stop them is when you blow them up, when you get rid of them. So they were designated as what they are. They are narco-terrorist organizations. So the same information and the same intelligence mechanisms with maybe a higher focus was used to determine that a drug boat was headed towards eventually the United States. And instead of interdicting it on the president's orders, he blew it up. And it'll happen again. Maybe it's happening right now. I don't know. But the point is, the president of the United States is going to wage war on narco-terrorist organizations. This one was operating in international waters, headed towards the United States to flood our country with poison. And under President Trump, those days are over.
And Disney never misses out on an opportunity to make money. They just released the poster for their new fall classic, Karen's in the Outfield. If you ask me, this one looks like it's going to be a bigger miss than Tua trying to hit an open receiver downfield. So I'll be watching, and I'll keep you updated with any new information. My whole life, people have told me that there is no chance of being run down by a moose in broad daylight. But I'm here to let you know that anything is possible. Just remember that things aren't always as they seem, but even when things get really tough, you need to keep moving forward, or else you're just going to end up like an old angry lesbian at a Phillies game.
My milkshake brings all the boys to the yard, and their life is better than yours.
Donald Trump is an old school coach. Work hard, play hard. Enjoy yourself, but execute.
All right, guys, fuck George Soros on 3. 1, 2, 3.
And if you have a couple more minutes, you may have missed my last video where we talk about how high XRP can really go in September. And of course, some more truth talk guaranteed to melt down the most libtarded. Till the next time, be safe.